We're live.
Jackie's enough. Just start talking, Jackie. I'm not even going to talk on this one.
Well, if I could speed this up, I'm missing 3 hours of The Bachelor tonight. It's a 3-hour episode, and so we're recording that at home.
You know what's interesting? Later on, when you watch the show, Jackie will be on the panel, and she mentions this mystery friend who tends to watch Housewives and those kind of shows. Was that mystery friend you?
No.
It wasn't?
Actually, I really don't watch those shows very often. I watch The Bachelor.
You do?
My mystery friend is actually my mystery friend right there.
Oh, yeah.
Jordan.
Wanna
She's
say
my
hi?
mystery friend.
Jordan, you like reality TV. What was the one you said? Was it Housewives of New York or?
Housewives. I don't think I was specific on which one because I don't think I know. Which one is it, Jordan?
Beverly Hills Housewives.
Beverly Hills Housewives. Okay.
I bet that's good. I bet that's good.
Well, you said, my friend likes to, I forget what you said, something about like, she likes to
Must
just
have been impactful.
decompress. You know, she likes to decompress, and she's not going to watch, anything intense. So she's going to watch.
Yeah.
Now, what is it about women and?
Is this sexist?
No,
Okay.
women like trashy reality shows where they like watching other women behave badly.
Makes us feel better about ourselves.
Is that it?
It's just super entertaining, but
Is it super? Like,
it is. I think it is. The Bachelor. Have you ever watched The Bachelor? That is entertaining because
Why?
it's so ridiculous. To me, it's so fake. Knowing how it all works behind the scenes and stuff, it's just funny. You're seeing people at their worst. I don't know.
Seeing people at their worst. See, that's interesting. And I have
Says a lot about me.
a lot of times when women talk about the watching reality shows, they say, "I just want to turn off my brain." They say things like that. Now, why? What
That's
is
true.
it that
Motherhood.
it's motherhood?
I mean, yeah, day in and day out, we're dealing with crying babies, poopy diapers, making dinners, doing laundry. I mean, there's a lot that falls on a woman's plate, whether you're working or not. I mean, I'm sure you do lots of father. I didn't really
No,
mean that.
I
You
don't.
Okay,
I don't
you
do anything.
You probably, my husband actually, I feel like he pulls a lot of weight around the house, but it's just like at the end of the day, I don't want to be bombarded with, I don't want to have to think. I don't want to have to think hard. So I want to sit and just relax and just like fall asleep to nonsense. But unfortunately, I don't have a lot of time to do that. But I do.
You don't have any time. What is going on with the world? I mean, your life is so crazy. Like, you've got to do, your job would be hard if you didn't have kids. Having to come in and do you got to do the hair, the makeup, you got to get the look, then you got to get on camera, then you got to read the news. Then you go home and then you have like crying kids.
No, they don't cry. My children don't cry.
How old are they?
I have a 5-year-old, almost 5, named Coda, and I have a 17-month-old named Jude or JJ.
Okay, so they're still, those are not the easy
No, we have a
ages.
babysitter, full-time babysitter, which helps. She lives in the house. She's really sweet.
Well, you have to. I mean, you
yeah.
can't do that.
No, and you know what? But she's she doesn't work overnight. So when my husband comes home, he's in charge of the kids, and JJ still wakes up in the middle of the night. So he gives her bottle. I mean, we're both running on a max capacity, and he's running a couple of companies, and I come here at night, and I come home, and I'm totally exhausted. I sleep on I get about 3.5 hours of sleep each day. When I come home, I sleep from about 9 to noon-ish.
You get home what time?
I get home around 8 in the morning.
Get home at 8, and then you can go right to an hour later.
Right
You're in bed.
Oh, like 5 minutes later.
That's interesting because
yeah.
I get home at about right now it's like 9:25. Right, I get home at 10. I eat dinner. I don't get to bed till 1:30, maybe 2.
I've never been able to stay up late, but which is funny because I stay up late every night. But it kills me. It really does. That overnight shift is not for the faint of heart.
Well, listen, Patricia left, and really the reason why she couldn't. She just didn't want to do the hours anymore. She was like, I need a different shift. That was
It's a tough shift.
reason.
Yeah, it is. But you know what? I feel like it's boot camp. Anything can fall on my plate at any time. It's kind of fun. It's exciting, but it can get really boring at times too. So I just try to read the newspaper as much as I can, stay up on current events. But at times, I got to do stuff to just keep my mind awake. Like sometimes I'll have to turn on a show or something to just. It's around like 1:30 to 2:30. Oh, the worst timing ever.
Really?
So I hope the world doesn't fall apart between 1:30 and 2:30. That's a rough time. Yeah.
What time do you get here?
Well, I leave my house at 6. I get here at 8.
Okay, you get in at 8, and then I see you sometimes doing you're getting ready.
Do you recognize me when I walk in?
I do.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah,
You just
I
say
do.
it.
Well, the first time I didn't. When I first saw you, remember we were going through the doors, and you had your kids with you,
Yeah.
and then I didn't know who you were then. But now, of course, I do. But
Of course you do.
Of course. But so you're getting ready at 8:00, and then when does your first hit?
10:15 for O'Reilly. I mean for Hannity.
Uh-huh.
Sean Hannity at 10:15, and then my next hit is once again Sean Hannity's show that re-airs at 1:00 Eastern.
And then for us, I don't even know when the news breaks are because
Thanks,
we take
Tom.
the show.
Well, I mean, part of your show.
I see I see
4
them.
minutes of your show.
But I watch on the DVR. I watch the show the next day. But we used to have at the top of the show
Yeah, I remember that.
But I pushed to have that changed because I wanted to go right from show to show.
Yeah.
And I said, let's get into the show,
Yeah.
and then we'll do the updates later.
So
that was smart, wasn't it?
Brilliant. So brilliant. So we do have at 3:20 and 3:40 now.
3:20 and 3:40. Okay.
Which really cuts into my nap, really. But it's okay. I don't mind.
But you can watch.
Just kidding.
You watch the show as it's happening.
Show, the whole freaking
you have
show
to.
watch, yeah.
You have no choice.
No choice.
How did it feel from the other end of the? You were there. How did you'd watched the show so many times. You know how it works, and yet you were there in the lion's den taking questions. What was it like?
I just kept thinking, am I slouching? Am I slouching? Because
Really?
I have a tendency to slouch. My husband's like, sit up straight. And I'm always like...
Your husband says that?
All the time. Because I do. I know. He's very honest with me, which gets him in trouble a lot. But I always want to know. So, yeah, I slouch a lot. So I was really worried about that. And I'm going to watch it back and go, am I slouching?
I think that's why I like to stand.
Yeah.
Because it's, called thinking on your feet. You think better on your feet. That's why they say think on your feet.
Well, then why do you make us sit? That's rude.
Well,
Just so
because you
can
guys
be
don't
the
have to
smart guy
think. No, you don't have to think as much. Like, to me, the kind of thinking, it's the... I'm trying to be a, what do you call the guy at the front of the orchestra?
Conductor?
The conductor. I feel like I'm conducting. I don't have to be, that verbal or anything.
I'm
but I
really
feel
impressed
like
with the way you're able to navigate. Like, if you notice someone doesn't talk, you Allie.
I like
or
to give
Chris,
them.
And I like that. That's not something that comes easily. You have to figure out how to do that after a while. Because I need a Kleenex. Do we have a Kleenex?
Yeah. No, go ahead. You can. It's Facebook Live. This is like.
All right.
This isn't real broadcast.
Okay. So no, I'm well, this is a wet wipe. That's weird. Well, there goes half my makeup, Tom. If you only knew how much makeup I really wore.
But you don't have to go back and do your.
No, I'm going home.
Your job now.
I'm gonna go get a burger and fries.
Where?
Jordan doesn't
Wait, from
know
where?
that. I don't
Yeah.
know, maybe. Well, I
Five
want Shake
Guys?
Shack, but it's
Shake
gonna be late.
You can Shake Shack 8th Avenue. I think it'll be open.
Okay. So maybe if you could give me your credit card, I'd appreciate
925?
that.
Yeah.
Oh, are those your kids?
Yeah, that's the kids.
Oh, they're cute.
Agnes and Louise, and
It's not showing anymore.
They're very
Yeah.
sweet.
oh, it's off. The
How old are they?
10 and 7.
They fun age.
Fun.
I have the two girls. I absolutely love kids. I want like 6.
I mean, it's like, people start. We started later. I had my first kid when I was 40. I would have, more, but then we're like, it's like my parents started when they were 20, and then they had 5 kids.
I started at 27.
Someone asked if you speak Spanish, and someone else asked how many kids do you have?
I have 2 girls, and I speak very little Spanish. Actually, I kind of flunked it in college. It's hard to try to pick up on conjugating all the verbs and all that stuff. I wish I would have started early, so I have my 4-year-old in Spanish lessons now.
Languages are hard. Plus, you got to live there. You got to go live at the place.
Okay, yes, our church has missionaries that go out on mission for 2 years. And that they go to a training center for like 6 weeks to learn the language, and then they're out with the people, right? And they come back and they can speak it fluently. You have to embed yourself in it.
Yeah.
So my husband speaks Spanish, and we try to speak Spanish around the house, but I wish I did. I really do have so much respect for people who speak multiple languages.
And he, what's he do? He's like a CEO?
Yeah, he runs his own company in analytics, data type of thing. It's one of those like real nerdy things.
Analytics, data.
He's a data scientist.
He's a cruncher.
Yeah, he's a cruncher.
Okay, here's the thing. Are they asking about Patricia? Because we
They're-
had.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, we're getting a lot about Patricia.
I wanted to get Patricia and Jackie on the show, and then Patricia left. Yeah, I mean, it took me a while to get this thing going.
Yeah, I noticed.
But it's hard to get news people. They have difficult schedules. They're on it late, and they have to do the show when they're not here. There's all sorts of rules about we couldn't have you doing the show and then doing the updates. Mm-hmm. So you have to, work it out. Anyway, it was all coming down, going to happen, and then Patricia left. But she's going to do the show as well, I think. But we just have to get when you don't work. Now she's not working here, so we can't just call her up.
She's lovely. She's so
we have to get permission, and then so we're asking now. We're getting clearance, and hopefully she'll be on the show as well.
Yeah, she was so great to the fans. I always saw her responses and stuff.
So fun. She was always tweeting and doing this other stuff. But you're the two main, Jackie and
the
Patricia.
only 2 people you really need to know at Fox News are the overnight breaking news anchors.
Yeah. Did they hire another breaking, or they've gone?
No, I'm going to pick up another shift. I'll be, hopefully, maybe I'll pick up another shift and do more during the week. I would really love that.
How did you start? Did you do any local news or anything?
Yeah, I
you
did local news for. So I graduated college in 2007, and I did local news until I came here in 2014. the math.
Where local?
I was in Springfield, Massachusetts for 3 years as a producer.
Weston, Mass.
Yeah, right. That was interesting. It was fun. I learned a lot. And I did the morning live shots for 3 years. I did that a little bit, and then I anchored on the weekend. And those doing live shots, man, I have so much respect for people. That's
Standing
hard
outside
work.
and having to talk.
Yes.
I don't know how they do it.
At 4 a.m. when it's freezing and you've got people like throwing insults at you, and you've got it raining and sleeting, and your producer's calling you and they don't like what you said, or they don't like this, and it's just like.
And there's no prompters, right?
No.
You're not reading anything.
No.
You just have to talk.
Yes.
Ed Henry, when he's standing, in
Very
front of the
talented.
White House, he talks, and you watch these segments. They go on for like 7 minutes, back and forth, and they're able to just kind of improvise. They have to know everything, of course, but then to be able to improvise it. Everything we do on this show, we just talk and we goof around. Then I go to the prompter, and it's all written down for me. But so you had to do that. You had to just kind of wing it. Do you plan it ahead of time, saying I'm going to say this, 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 or do you just kind of improvise?
Well, that was at the beginning of my career, so definitely you have the jitters, so you plan what you would say. But you know what? You would plan it to the extent that you could, but the second the camera started rolling, you just started talking. Because in news, you cannot rehearse. I remember I would have some producers say, well, say what you said last time, or say the exact same thing, and you can't really do that in news. It needs to come naturally. You need to know your facts so you can just spit them out in a very conversational way. And I'm not an actress. I'm a journalist.
Yep.
Totally different.
Catherine Herridge, okay, these are they're the kings of this. I mean, they're so good. Catherine Herridge, Rosen,
James Rosen.
and Henry, and then who's the other guy? Carl, right? Campaign Carl.
Campaign Carl.
4 of them. They can talk forever.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unbelievable. They're so skilled, and I never stop getting amazed at their.
No, it's
they
this
do it.
huge skill, and you have to have this, just this clarity, this peace of mind to be able to think like that. That's not easy. I feel like I can have a lot of facts going through my head, know what I want to say, and then all of a sudden the camera's rolling, and like I said, you have people throwing insults this way or that way, and you have the sleet and the hail and everything coming down, and then you just kind of lose your train of thought because life happens. And then I'm thinking about, oh, I'm hungry. What am I gonna? And I'm like, shoot, now what am I supposed to say? So it takes a while. You have to train yourself, and it is Ed Henry and Catherine and those guys. Huge props to them. Huge props. But what you do is not easy.
Well, that's what. Then I will talk to Ed Henry. He'll be like, oh, Shiloh, I couldn't do that. That kind of, and it's like, well, it's just a different. Like, I like this that everyone has different disciplines. Like Andy, what he does, it's crazy. Anyone who tries to do halftime, they come out and they're like, "Oh my gosh, Andy's so good at this." It's like the no one can understand how hard it is to do halftime, to pick through what just happened, and then kind of go back and kind of re-interview people.
It's like the melting pot of journalism. Isn't it great to see all of the different talents everyone has? But I think that's what's great about America in general. There's so many different people that have to that do different things that make it work. I love everyone's talents. That's why I love being a journalist. I love tapping into their life and seeing what makes them tick, and seeing these unique people come through here. It is such an honor, seriously such an honor to meet some of these people and talk with them.
Most of all, the people.
Yeah.
That's America to me. That's the lyric, remember?
Yeah, I remember.
It's an old Sinatra song. That's America to me.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so what's next for Jackie Ibañez?
Well, I'm just a rising star. I mean, where am I going to stop?
I mean, what would you want to do? Would you do, I mean, you could do, like you said, you did the morning show in the local, you produced. Could you do, would that be something you like? Is that...
Mornings are my thing.
Mornings are?
Yeah, because I think you're going to be a little more loosey-goosey, fun. It's not politics all the time. And you do water cooler stories. You do feature stories on people who are just unique. And I've always done mornings, and that's where I think my strength is. So
you could do that.
I would love to do a morning show, for sure. Yeah. Or just be a part of something larger like that. It would be fun. That would be where I'm headed next.
Yeah.
I hope. Do you have any strings to pull? Or?
I mean, listen.
You're Tom Shalhoub, of course you do.
I would, that's hard for me. I would like to try that kind of thing, but I'm not, I guess I'm kind of sardonic. Or do you think I am a morning type of person? Do you think I'm like a Fox and Friends type, Kayvon?
I see you more on the 5, like outside of Red Eye.
I
think you work really well on the 5, but you'd be fine for Fox and Friends too.
It's Fox and Friends is really hard. The way they have to, because they switch from they go hard news and then they go silly,
goofy.
Yeah.
I bet you could train yourself to do that. I do see you more on the 5. I think you're very.
I love Tom on the 5.
Yeah, I do too. No, I think you're really good at that. But you just have to train yourself to be able to do that. But.
Yeah, it's mixing the news. I mean, we do it here on Red Eye, but mostly it's silly. But of course, in the